so that we can remove the bogies from underneath it and roll them out. So the bogies that you saw at the end, got this bit here, this is called a lifeguard. This is like a big barrier. Like if there's any sort of equipment on the tracks, this is the first thing that will get hit. So the idea is that it'll bash anything out of the way so that the train won't run over any kind of equipment and derust. This is the only bit that holds the bogie to the coach. So you've got 8 bolts underneath there, and that's primarily what holds the bogie. So about 10 tons held on this bit. It's held on by friction, and also these 8 bolts. Okay? Alright? Come underneath here. These are reservoirs. These are going to be filled with compressed air. Alright? So these have got compressed air, and they're for our suspension. So there'll be airbags that you'll see a bit later on. And they provide like cushioning for your benefits or when you're on the coach. So, okay, this creates 10 bars of pressure, so quite a very high pressure system. All right, it's a screw compressor, so it takes air, screws it all together. And this here is what dries that air, okay? Because we don't want moisture in our reservoirs, okay? This here is a brake reservoir, so our brakes work on air. Okay, so that reservoir is very important because that holds all the air pressure for our braking system. Okay? This is called a traction container. Okay, so when you've got the bogies attached, there's motors on them. Okay? And this provides the power to those motors. It takes the voltage from the overhead line, converts it into voltage that we can then use for the motors.
Voltage your
coach. Alright? Each coach has one of these. It basically just keeps we set the temperature, and that's how it's basically climate control for our coaches. Keeps it at a nice temperature. Setup that we did at the other end. Okay? All the cables that you see here, these carry all the very high voltages. About 750 volts come through here, so they're very high voltage. Alright? So you've got this bit here, this is called the intermediate coupler. So the one at the front was called the auto coupler, that's for connecting trains together. This one connects coaches together. This is it. Yeah?
How many miles do the brake pads do?
Miles, I'd say about 50,000. Not very much. They're not very, I mean, the brake discs, we don't want the wheels lifting. So we have anti-roll bars that keep the wheels nice and flat as it goes around the curve. Yeah? Okay? Trying to see what we can. Alright, if we carry on down. Yeah? See as you walk along here all the high powered cables that come across. Okay, this coach is pretty empty, that's because this is called a trailer bogie. Okay, so there's not much underneath it, so with that's called like a motor coach down there. This is like a trailer coach, so there's not very much underneath it. Okay? So again, it carries all the high powered cables all the way along. Yes, these skirts are primarily because Heathrow Express wanted skirts, so not all, well, not many. Well, yes. Right, so yeah, this is another trailer bogie. Alright, so if we carry on down, sorry. Keep going down. The coach we're coming on to now is called the STD. It's the heaviest coach of all. Oh, alright. Okay. So, right, to have these two anti-roll bars just to deal with the weight. If we come along, so up on the roof there's a pantograph. Okay, pantograph is that thing you see over there on the 360. So that connects up to the overhead line. That's the 25,000 volts comes down to this transformer. Okay, the transformer steps down that voltage to controllable, to all the different voltages. This is called the ACU, Auxiliary Converter Unit. This is like the heart of the train, really. This is where all the computers are held when the train starts up, when the train's running. Lets us know if there's any problems with the train. This is the primary function of the ACU. It's something to kickstart a system. So this is a 110 volt car battery in effect. So when we turn the train on, we have to. Sorry?
Can the train be driven on batteries?
No, not at all. No, the only thing that it just starts the train. It just runs the very bare minimum to start the train up. Yeah. Okay? What's that? Okay. We come on down. So these are the bogies that are missing from the other end. So these have got the gearbox and the motors. Okay. So here we've got the motor. This runs on like a three-phase system, so it's very high power. Very high powered motor. Runs through the gearbox and turns it's called a quill shaft, and it turns the axle. So that these motors are what drive the axle. So you got. So we don't. Yeah, we don't. It's not a problem. No, I mean we've never sort of had problems with it before. We want on it.
I was wondering about that.
That one, I think they just made, it's called like a passenger, so I think someone's making a passenger announcement on the train. Yeah? Okay? Alright? Not scared? It transmits signals as you're going along. And these receivers pick up that transmission. So it's like if a driver goes through a red light, something like that, the train will automatically stop. So these are all just safe, these are antennas for your... Oh, how long do you think? A long way. It is? It's about half a mile. Half a mile. So if it's going 100 miles, yeah, yeah, it'll take half a mile. So it does take a long time. Yeah.